Heroes Reborn #2 from Jason Aaron. This one was kind of meh for me.
This one was not as strong as the first one.
No.
Except it does start very strong if you're a Cosmic fan. Look at this.
Oh, that was cool.
Page. Yeah. Just Galactus and Silver Surfer like right off the rip. And then usually we don't do like massive spoiler things. Sometimes we do.
Yeah, I can give this one away.
Look at that one.
Yeah, Hyperion just
Hyperion just like bullet through the head.
I will say,
I saw that and I was like, yes.
His pose is so like action figure, like you don't have joints. Yeah, you can only move your shoulders, your arms like that.
Oh, yes, exactly like that.
But yeah, when I read that, I was like, whoa. So we essentially get 3 stories, if you include those 2 pages, about Hyperion, and so I feel like you get like a tiny little like origin story, if you will, about Hyperion, kind of sprinkled throughout the issue.
It feels like this week is kind of the Hyperion origin. With this and with the one shot added in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna get that for every issue now, because I think we're gonna get at least, I think it's 4 more, either 3 or 4 more character origins. I think next week is Speedster or something like that. But yeah, so this was, a heavy Hyperion week, a heavy Hyperion issue in Heroes Reborn 2. And what I got a sense from this issue is that, this is, apparently he is that strong, Jaden. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I guess.
Yes, this version of Hyperion is OOOP. I don't know if you have read or seen, I haven't read, but if you've seen The Boys, very much think of this Hyperion as a not quite so what am I trying to say? Psychotic. That's it. Not quite so psychotic Homelander. Like
more
he's
just red-blooded American.
Well, that's how Homelander is too. But
okay.
Have you seen The Boys?
I've seen bits.
Oh no, yeah, he is the red, white, and blue through and through. But
he's more egotistic, right?
Yeah. Hyperion's not quite so egotistical, but
okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, anyway, so we get 3 stories. We get the first story, which I believe is just I got to look back at it because I've read this long ago.
It's basically like an origin of like who he has fought, and
that's right.
We get a glimpse. We get a glimpse of Reed Richards and Ben Grimm as their non-transformed selves. He fights a brood-infected gladiator, which we will see how that happens in the other issue. He fights. I can't remember this character's name for the life of me, but Mr. Beyonder. He fights. A massive, super massive Ultron that's being controlled by Hank Pym, and then he fights the Hulk, which I find very fitting. And this obviously was probably done on purpose a little bit because Dale Kawan is doing the art, who had that awesome run on Hulk. Their fight's pretty cool. I like it.
Their fight's cool, and the Hulk also it seems like he's having the same memory issues as Blade, but they're so, the way he speaks is so incoherent that you can't quite, as a reader, you're like, oh shit, he's like Blade. And he knows that the Avengers existed. Where the fuck are they? Whereas in this, what I got in this issue, or at least this part of the story, is that Hyperion's only real solution to problems outside of what he does to Hulk, which is end up melting him alive, is throwing them into the negative zone. So he just literally throws everybody in the negative zone, which I think is kind of a little bit of a misstep, because they can work together, maybe, and get out. And
well, it also gives you allusions to Annihilation Saga 2 and War of Kings, where
gotcha.
same things happening there. The negative zone is being used as a big giant prison, and then everyone bands together to
So then after that, we know he ends up taking care of the Hulk. Hulk is like, "Where are my friends?" Dead. And it's a pretty epic, actually very epic conclusion to that fight. You're seeing he just gets drilled with holes with his like atomic vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts back to Hyperion teaching his history class, and somebody's out the window, and essentially what we're getting is Blade woke up Cap. He was able to get him out of the ice and remind him that, hey, shit's going down. You know, you may not know this because you've been in the ice for so long, but you should have been out of the ice a long time ago. And so Cap goes and you know, a bearded Cap goes and confronts Hyperion. And it's kind of like this, like, almost a standoff, I guess you could say. Kind of. It's really just Cap feeling out Hyperion, really.
Right.
And trying to figure out, you know, do I need to immediately jump into action, or do I have some time to figure shit out? And that's kind of what we get.
Mm-hmm.
And so the issue ends with Blade kind of, you know, it's revealed that it's Cap, and Cap's like, I got work to do. We got to get this shit figured out. Even though in this timeline, he doesn't know anything about the Avengers. He's been in the ice forever. So it's kind of odd to see Cap just being so, like, immediately, like, hold my drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this issue does feel like a lot of setup, to whereas the first issue just kind of felt like we were just cruising and having fun. And, you know, you do get parts of that in here too. The fight scenes with Hyperion really felt like they were just, you know, doing stuff they wanted to do.
Yeah.
One thing that I really bothers me about this book is we've been told that one of the reasons why Ed McGuinness has been off of this book for a while is because off of the Avengers book is because he's been working on Heroes Reborn, and we're already on issue 2 of this event, and he draws 4 pages. Yeah. You had to go get another guy who doesn't have an ongoing currently to cover majority of your pages because you can't even get this done. I mean, his pages are so small that he's not even listed on the credits in the beginning on the front page of the issue.
Right.
I was like, is Ed McGuinness not even touched this book? Oh, he's got 4 pages in the back.
Yeah,
I just don't understand what's going on there.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing because, like, the first page, I'm like, wait, what happened to our art? What happened to our artist? And I think the issue probably would have carried a little bit better. I think we would have been in it more if he had been the artist. You know what I mean? I think the book would have flowed a little bit better, and there would have been a little more connectivity because it's just kind of jarring. I'm not saying the artwork that was in there is bad. It's not. But, like, you end the first issue, which is just heavy, and then you go to this, and it's 2 other artists, and you're like, wait, what happened? You know what I mean? And then, like you said, you only get 4 pages, and you're like, come on, man. Like, I want more. So hopefully, it's probably going to go like this for the rest of the series. I bet we're going to get 4 pages. The last 4 pages of every Heroes Reborn issue is going to be Ed, and then it's on to the next issue.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to figure out who this character is a amalgamation of. Jaden said he loves Beyonder, and this is like the Beyonder mixed with another character, and I cannot remember his name.
Well, the Beyonder doesn't look like an alien, right? He's more like a dude that's from the 70s.
That's what I'm saying, because he's called Mr. Beyonder, so he has like the powers and sort of origin of Beyonder, but he's mixed with this guy. I've literally got it almost right here. Oh my god. Whatever. I can't think of Impossible Man. Impossible Man.
Gotcha.
Yes, it's like Impossible Man and Beyonder mixed together.
Gotcha. Well, either way, I just didn't feel this issue it hit that issue 2 slump that a lot of series have, where like issue 1's like, oh my god, and then issue 2's like, all right, let's settle down. And this one I'm kind of like, oh, don't do that. Like,
don't settle down. Keep going.
Don't settle. That needs to be like 60, 125 miles an hour all the way through, please. Like, I want slow down, like in Donny Cates' King in Black, which we didn't get. It was just straight pedal to the metal to the point where like it felt like completely rushed. And in here, it's like, no, let's figure this out. I'm like, no. Keep going. I want to go fast. Anyway, What up, Luby? How you doing, man? I'm glad you're here. Are you reading Heroes Reborn right now? I know we talked about it on the podcast that you were maybe jumping in on this series, but I hope you are, because I think it's a fun idea. Don't get us wrong. It's a fun. It's definitely a lot more. I don't want to say lighthearted, but it just didn't. It came across better than we thought it was going to be. So, which is kind of nice.
Stefan, here's a link to Impossible Man. I don't know very much about him at all, but he's like originally a Fantastic Four character. He appears in I know about him from a New Mutants annual. Nice. He's like kind of like a goofy, kind of weird character.
And let's go to the next thing. So we're gonna jump into the tie-ins this week, which are both Hyperion centric, and we're gonna combine the two. So we're gonna cut into this week's tie-ins in Heroes Reborn. We've got Hyperion and the Imperial Guard, and Peter Parker and the Amazing Shutterbug. I'll let you break down Hyperion's Imperial Guard, since that was the only one you picked up this week.
Yeah. So we actually have two stories within this book. One's much shorter than the other, but this is even more of an origin of Hyperion, like before he sort of becomes the Cap fill-in. When he's young, he basically gets sent off to be part of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, which, if you're a Cosmic fan, I don't know, that was super cool to me that he's over here fighting beside Gladiator and Oracle and oh gosh, what is her name? Stingray or something like that. There's a bunch of little cool characters.
I know nothing about the Imperial Guard, so you're not getting up from me.
That's a mistake. You need to know.
I got plenty of time.
So basically, the premise of this is that they've just defeated the big bad, who is Deathbird, of course. And they're heading home, and it's time for Hyperion to go back to Earth. That his time learning and training and being a part of the Imperial Guard is over with. And that he's going to go back to Earth. And they're like, well, you do have time for one more mission. Let's go by Deathbird's, she has a planet that's essentially in this weird pocket dimension. They're like, let's just go there and kind of pick it over. Now that she's captured it in jail, we can go look it over, see if we can find anything good. So that's what they do. They stop on the planet, they look around, and then, it turns out that the Brood are hiding on the planet. And they start chomping people right away. Literally, they're on the planet for 2 or 3 pages, and then half the team's already infected with the Brood. And so basically, Oracle, who is also kind of is Hyperion's love interest in this, basically sacrifices herself so that Hyperion, Gladiator, and can't remember her name. I think it's something like Stingray or something like that. Sure. Manta, that's her name, because she looks like a manta ray. Got it. So that they can escape, and doesn't work. So then Manta has to sacrifice herself, and it looks and seems as if Hyperion is the only one who makes it off, and he's all alone, floating on a rock, because they blow up the planet to make sure that the Brood cannot get out anywhere. Yeah. Because the Brood are very, very bad. Hey, what's up, Eric? Thanks for coming by. One thing that I thought was really funny, and evidently tricked some other comic book reviewers, is that this is referred to as issue, what is it, 121? And then there's an actual mailbag in the back with fake reader's notes.
That's my favorite part of this book.
Yeah, it's meant to make you feel like this is a real thing from another universe, another reality, whatever. And the mailbag is very tongue in cheek, which is hilarious.
It's definitely Jason Aaron poking fun at the community, poking fun at Twitter, and it's all lighthearted, I believe. But that I'm almost certain when he was writing it, he was like, "This is gonna piss some people off," and I love it.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was Jason Aaron. I think it was Ryan Caddy.
Oh, was it?
I mean, he signed it off, so. Oh, okay. I think so. Anyway, either way, it was funny. And so they're playing as if this is the very last issue of Hyperion and the Imperial Guard, and this book is getting canceled, and in its place is going to be a relaunch and the title is going to be the Starjammers. Which, again, if you're a cosmic nerd, this is just awesome. Like, it's even got the like #1 special preview and all the funny little 90s cliche. But this team is really cool because it is two characters who you would think would be on the Starjammers. You've got oh god, what's the Summer's dad? What's his name?
I know the boys' names. I don't remember his name.
No, the dad. What's the?
I know. I don't know the dad's name. Space pirate guy.
Space pirate man, and Hepzibah are the two. But it also has Rocket and Groot.
Yeah.
And then it has Cyclops and Havoc as part of the team, and they're like teenagers. Havoc and Cyclops are.
Also like their costumes in that, like because they're like kind of they're so close to being like what we know, but then they're just a little bit off.
Yep. And this is literally just someone who is a fan of X-Men and cosmic stuff just having fun. Like, they're out in space, and then all of a sudden a Nova Centurion shows up, and it's Johnny Storm, or it's a Jonathan Storm. Not
Eric
Jonathan.
says Corsair is
Corsair.
the name?
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. And yes, so Johnny Storm is a Nova Centurion. So anyway, this is literally just fun. This is just, we get a little Lalandra appearance at the end. They're looking for the Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. Honestly, this isn't like in no way necessary to understanding what's actually going on in the main book. And, I picked it up because I am a huge cosmic nut and I like those characters. So I just wanted to see what we were doing with them.
Right. I really enjoyed, actually, I like the Space Jammers story more than the Imperial Guard one. I did enjoy the Imperial Guard one, but the Space Jammers one I thought was more fun. And I was like, man, I could actually see, like, I would pick that book up. Like, I would pick up Space Jammers #1. If they did that book, I would totally do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the other one we have is Peter Parker and the Amazing Shutterbug. So basically this is just Peter not becoming Spider-Man and having the worst luck ever. Just the worst. What does Stefan says? Hey guys, have you read?
Yeah, I have not read it. I have heard about it. I have heard pretty good things about it too.
What's the series called?
I think it's just called Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Yeah. So do you remember when it's like the Beast brings back the old team into the future?
Yes, and you were like,
and yeah. So it seems kind of odd, but that's what he does. That's what that Cyclops does for a while before they all eventually get sent back to the past.
That's kind of cool.
He hangs out with his dad.
Nice. So back to this. Again, it's Peter not becoming Spider-Man, and he just has really shitty luck. And at one point, I can't remember exactly how it ties into the Heroes Reborn. The second story ties into the Heroes Reborn book very well. Whereas like Hyperion, like, okay, we found out how the Imperial Guard became Brood and why he was Brood in that book, and that was like one panel. In this book, we find out even more, because in Heroes Reborn 2, you see Peter like Hyperion shows up, and the way it's addressed in that book is Hyperion sees Peter as like a nuisance, as just this guy that gets in the way. And in this book, when he shows up, Peter's like, no, Hyperion's a jackass. Like he sucks. And he's being forced, obviously, to take pictures of Hyperion because he has to make money. So the background dialogue is Peter absolutely hates Hyperion. He's just like, he's a total jackass. And so at one point in the book, and I think it happens in Heroes Reborn, a bunch of bugs from Annihilus show up. Like Annihilus's bugs show up. And they start like destroying the city, and Hyperion uses his like frost breath to kill the bugs, and so Peter sees them fly away, but then one of them survives. And so when Hyperion goes, or when Peter goes back into his office, he's like talking to one of his coworkers. He's like, "Hey, did you get any good shots?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was really good." He goes, "Oh, can I take a?" And then like the dude's head gets cut off, just cut off. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but he literally goes diagonal on his neck. and one of the bugs survived, and so it's just like laying claim to the office. And Peter's like, how do I fix this? So he ends up getting a fire extinguisher and puts it in the microwave, blows it up, and smokes everybody out. And as he's evacuating people out, he kind of lays like bait. He's like bait towards the bug, and it looks like he like puts together this like hodgepodge electrical rod, kills the bug, but when it happens, he gets bit. And when he gets bit, these like bug legs, but they look like alien bug legs, pop out of his sides, and he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna start taking orders from a nihilist. I gotta jump out the window. And he fucking kills himself.
Oh damn.
Before he turns into the bug. He's like, well, I guess I did something right today. And just now that's how the book ends. I have a suspicion that Peter's gonna show up later as the bug form, like it didn't work out, and he's gonna end up becoming a villain. But it was pretty intense. The first part was kind of, I don't want to say boring. It was literally building up to the fact that he didn't turn into Spider-Man. I just don't think we needed, half the issue to explain that was happening. Right. But the other half, I was like, oh, this is kind of boring. This is just us showing what happens at the back end. And then that shit happened at the end, and was like, ooh, that went dark real quick. Exactly, yeah. Jaden, dark, hella quick. Professor Comics says so many Peter Parker / Spidey titles lately. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But this one actually was really cool. I wasn't expecting that ending. So
is this the coolest Peter Parker Spidey story you read this week?
Of Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not reading Nick Spencer's shit anymore. So.
Oh, you must have forgot another book from this week.
Well, what do you mean? Oh yeah, God damn it, Jesus Christ! I'm focused on Reborn. Don't start getting me into like later into the. We got a big stack here. It's a beefy stack. Right. I can't just start thinking about other books.
Okay, well, get past.
It wasn't as good as that one, but it got dark at the end, and I really enjoyed that. So overall, that is our Heroes Reborn bubble.
Bubble.
I enjoyed the tie-ins more than I thought. I actually went into the tie-ins very reluctantly. I was just picking up for a collector aspect, and I actually thought they were a lot of fun. And I liked the tongue-in-cheek stuff in Imperial Guard, and I really liked how dark it got, even though we're about to get a lot darker in the other Spider-Man book that came out this week. I don't know. It was a good time. It wasn't as good as last week. The first book was really good. So we'll have to see how the event continues on. But overall, it was kind of I'd give it a C+ week for Heroes Reborn this week. So.